One day, Sir Topham Hatt had important news for Thomas. Today, Thomas, a new engine has just arrived on Sodor. His name is Spencer, so I want you to give him a big welcome. Yes, sir, said Thomas. He was excited. Later, Thomas saw the interesting-looking engine. Hello, said the new engine. My name is Spencer. What's yours? I'm Thomas, said Thomas. It's so good to see you, Thomas, said Spencer. I'm glad to be a new engine on Sir Topham Hatt's railway. I'm from the mainland, don't you know? Care for a race? No, not today, said Thomas. I have work to do. Oh, that's okay, said Spencer. We'll race later. So Thomas went to the yards to collect some freight cars. Later, Thomas collected his freight cars, but then he suddenly left them behind. Bother, said Thomas. I must go back. This time, Thomas was coupled up to the cars. And then Thomas set off, but he left them again. But then Thomas tried one more time, and this time, he really pulled it. Thomas was pleased with himself. He was glad he was doing all the fine jobs. I hope I'll race with Spencer later, Thomas said to himself. Thomas was getting nearer and nearer to the shunting yard. Thomas knew he had to make Sir Topham Hatt proud. Soon Thomas arrived at the shunting yard where Henry was waiting. Hello, Thomas, said Henry. What are you doing today? I've got freight to deliver all over the island, said Thomas. I wanted to see Spencer, but I can't because I had work to do. Well, I just saw Spencer this morning, said Henry. He said he was the fastest engine of the world. Maybe you can race with him tomorrow. What a great idea, said Thomas. Thank you, Henry. It's not fair, Thomas groaned. I want to race with Spencer. But he knew he had work to do first. A little bit later, Thomas saw James. What's wrong, Thomas? asked James. I want to have a race with Spencer, he complained. He seems to be the fastest while I have other jobs to do. Never mind, Thomas, said James. Maybe you can have a race with me. You can race Spencer later. Is this supposed to be fun? asked Thomas. Of course, said James. Let's do this, Thomas. So Thomas agreed to race with James. James rushed into the tunnel, and Thomas followed him. Now I'm useful and important, James said to himself. Thomas was getting far close enough to James. Wait, James, wait, said Thomas. That evening, Sir Topham Hatt had gave the welcome party to Spencer. It's good to be on Sodor, said Spencer. Well, Spencer, we're pleased to have you on our railway, said Gordon. So, James, what do you think of Spencer? asked Thomas. He looks pretty impressive, explained James. Well, said Sir Topham Hatt, you have been very good so far. So, Spencer, you will have races with Gordon. Thank you, sir, said Spencer. Thomas agreed that Spencer was the finest engine of the whole of the railway,